And welcome back out to the South Point Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada for the first men's basketball game of the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. And in that game, we have from Duluth, Minnesota, the Saints of the College of St. Scholastica coming in with a 3-7 overall record against the Dutch of Central College out of Pella, Iowa, 4-5 overall on the season. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh. Let's get you the starting lineups first. The starting lineup for the Saints of St. Scholastica. They'll start in the backcourt with a 6'1 freshman out of Nett Lake, Minnesota, number 3, Cade Goggle-Eye, joined in the backcourt by a 6'1 freshman guard out of Hayward, Wisconsin, number 11, Craig Berger, the 6'5 sophomore guard out of Esco, Minnesota, number 10, Quinn Fisher, and a 6'4 sophomore guard out of Canyon, Minnesota, Nick Carlson. Jared Wilkin, a 6'6 junior forward from Annandale, Minnesota. Switching over to the Dutch. The Dutch led in the backcourt by a 6'1 junior out of St. Louis, Missouri, number 4, Adam Flynn. Caden Mock, a 6'6 junior forward out of Kansas City, Missouri, wearing number 23. Cade Terrell out of Olathe, Colorado, a 6'1 sophomore guard wearing number 24. Drake Johnson, 6'2 freshman out of Stanton, Iowa, wearing number 34. And number 42, Keaton Rogers, 6'3 freshman forward out of relatively nearby Peoria, Arizona. The Dutch, coached by Craig Duma. St. Scholastica, coached by David Staniger. Staniger has been the coach at St. Scholastica now for 20 seasons. Has helped usher that program into Division III, where they now, of course, have been for about more than a decade. But it has been that long up there in the members of the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference, Central members of the American Rivers Conference, formerly the IIAC.
I kind of miss the IIAC.
Yeah, I've gotten used to the name at
least.
I
have, but I do miss it. Oh, by the way,
yes,
you might want to know our officials for tonight. Bobby McRoy is our lead official, Eugene Felice, and Leon Johnson, our other two.
And so St. Scholastica in the blue with the yellow numerals and white trim. Central in the white with the red, and the tip controlled in the backcourt to Adam Flynn. The Dutch will be going left to right across your screen here in the first half, and the first shot by Flynn, a little short, rebounded by the Saints. Fisher with the basketball, dribbling in, working on the baseline, kicks it outside, now around up top for Goggle-Eye, and here is a travel out on the perimeter by Nick Carlson.
A little shuffle step up at the top, tried to get going. Got himself a little bit ahead of himself.
First turnover of the game for either squad, if you're keeping track at home.
Hopefully we're not like last. 44 in our last game total, 22 each, as a foul called on the drive.
Headed to the basket is Adam Flynn, and he will get a chance to go to the foul line. Foul called against Quinn Fisher, his first team foul of the first half. I'm just going to stating all these things for the record. Even though we're 33 seconds into the game, first shot around and in.
Our first points.
That's right.
Point.
These are the firsts here for the men's basketball portion of this tournament. These are the things that we do not really keep track of in the record book.
Have we ever had one of each gender on one day and that's it? I think this is a first.
Well, I mean, back in 2010 when we had just the 5 teams or whatever, because 2 teams got snowed in or out or whatever you would want to say.
Yeah, I forgot. That might have been one of those unique days.
We had to change some pairings. I think we had 2 women's teams not make the trip and go into the basket and finishing against Jared Wilkin.
Also had like a big gap in the middle. We went out and had nice dinner with our wives. I think
that's the only time our wives have been to this tournament.
I was going to say it wasn't a great introduction to the tournament for our wives.
They do not understand the kind of work that goes into that. Keaton Rogers doing some work down low and finishing. 4-2, the early lead for the Dutch. St. Scholastica attacking the basket to a left on your screen here in the first half. 3 ball on the way, a 25-footer off the back iron, too strong for Craig Berger and rebounded by the Dutch.
Hats off, by the way, to Larry Radloff, our photographer here from D3 Photography. He's already got pictures up from the last game. He had them up before I even had the broadcast off the air.
That is impressive. And
he is efficient.
He is. He's also an official.
He is.
I don't know if he will provide any input to those guys.
We were already chatting earlier today about some stuff.
I suppose if there's an issue, we'd probably do without him as a photographer for one game.
We could.
3 ball on the way from the corner. Off the back iron, it rattles home for Cade Terrell.
Well done, sir. And good shooting to start this game, obviously, by both teams here.
Cade Terrell 5 of 13 from downtown on the season. Coming in, here's a 3 ball on the way, and the answer is good for Quinn Fisher.
What you can do, I can do better.
Or at least do as well. It's hard to shoot
Fair.
a 3-pointer better than making it, right?
That is true.
7-5 the score. Central with the lead. Shot no good, and Wilkin with the rebound.
Just notice on the scoreboard here in the building, it's Central versus Saints because probably couldn't fit St. Scholastica, but we could teach him the CSS trick.
St. S, I guess it could be. 3 ball good for Wilkin. Second 3 ball of the night for him. 10 of 30 on the season coming in.
We'll just tell him about the CSS trick.
There's lots of things that we could tell those people.
Fair.
we're getting the job done. In the old days, like when we had our four character abbreviations for each team, this would be SCHL, S-C-H-L, versus CTRL.
Okay. I was trying to think of I can do 4-letter ones.
Well, I always liked it at least to have the abbreviation be pronounceable, and hopefully someone would understand what that meant.
Yeah, I don't love CEN on our screen. You're actually making me think about changing it right now on the air.
Mock has it knocked away. Scholastica with the basketball, up 8-7 here in the early going. Now we have CSS versus CTRL.
Couldn't resist.
Central rather than control. Saints dribbling in from the right wing, no good. And Central with a rebound.
It's a good attempt.
Yeah, looked good. I mean, put the ball on the floor, great decision making, just could not get it to finish.
Speaking of good decision making and can't finish, jeez.
Spin move, no good by Mock.
And split the defense.
Yeah, nice move down there for sure. Goggle Eye with the basketball now. It's Carlson with it. Carlson in the paint, dumps it off, underneath. Easy 2 for Wilkin on the feed from Carlson.
Central with a hot start, but St. Scholastica's responded now with a 3-point lead at 10-7, just getting it efficiently done on offense.
Scholastica 4 of 6 from the floor here in the early going, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Dutch with the basketball. 3 ball on the way in the corner, and it is good.
I would argue nobody's having problems with sight lines in this game.
Terrell with his second 3 of the evening. It is evening everywhere, right?
Oh, yes.
Say that. Other than if you're in Hawaii. That's 3-pointer no good.
Well, it's 6 o'clock there.
By Wilkin. Oh, yeah, I suppose so, huh? Is it? It's only 2 hours west of here. I should go to Hawaii. We should have a tournament in Hawaii. Here's a shot up and good.
There was a run.
Rogers.
Central's responded with a 4-0 run, by the way, to take the lead. There was a run of Hawaiian tournaments in D3 until this year. About 3 or 4 years there for a while. Seems
right.
I wouldn't have minded.
We have a great tournament here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we've had it for 10 years. We'll just take another tournament sometime.
Hoopsville's name's available.
Carlson shot no good. Offensive rebound for Fisher and a fresh 20. I'm going to try to say it that way. It's still new to me. Crossover for Berger. Back out to Goggle Eye. 3 from the wing. Rattles it home.
These two teams trading baskets at this point. Both of them shooting well. St. Scholastica 5 of 9. Central 4 of 8 now to start the game.
13-12 lead for the Saints. Central with the basketball. Dribbling in from the left. Putting it up. No good.
No, that got hit. I think that got blocked on the way up.
And Fisher collected the rebound. There's a deflection in the middle by Mock. 6-6. Long frame. Up ahead. Johnson finishes the layup. Central back up by 1.
We're trading the lead, that's for sure, with these two teams.
It's a lot of fun. It's a good basketball game.
Don't mind it.
We'll take 40 minutes of this. Thank you very much. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh here from the D3Hoops.com Classic. The Rainbow 3, no good. Rebounded by Flynn.
This building's been very busy, but I am very impressed that we don't notice that it had been in a rodeo about 10 days ago.
Keaton shot no good. Keaton Rogers rebounded by the Saints.
This is, I think, the 3rd tournament Sport Tours has here.
They typically have one before the break with like D1s, right?
Is it
like
D1
small
or D2s?
Some years it's been D2s, but they've had I remember coming in here and they had Iona banners up and the likes of that.
They definitely have a D1, but they also have one around Thanksgiving. I just can't remember which is which.
Cal State San Bernardino or something like that.
Towson was out here.
7 to shoot, shot no good. Carlson collects his own rebound, tries to kick it out, but it's deflected by Terrell.
And it got deflected actually Yeah, by Terrell. It landed in the hands of Flynn.
Practically a self-defense deflection, and Johnson finishes on the other end with a layup, 16-13.
Help me.
Central with the lead.
Both teams with 3 subs ready to check in as this game has been almost to the point of non-stop for the opening 6.
I like it. We don't have any TV timeouts. We don't have any media breaks.
Great pass.
3 ball on the way and buries it. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Craig Berger.
That was a great pass from Fisher, who got it around a defender to wide open Berger.
Berger from Hayward, Wisconsin, kind of stole him right out from under the nose of Northland, also a member of the UMAC.
Oops.
On the north shore of Wisconsin. At least I assume so. My parents go there to vacation, and I have never been, so I can only assume it's on the shore, because otherwise I'm not sure they would go.
Fair. By the way, great drive there by Flynn. Got into the lane and got fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 here.
It's Berger's second and the team's 4th. Shot on the way, no good.
Notice we went straight to the free throw there. And now we'll get the subs in. This is how men do it compared to the women. We would have had subs first, then subs in the middle. Now men just wait until the middle opportunity.
Flynn, a 75% foul shooter on the season, averaging 22 points a game. That's all. No big deal.
Just a couple, 2, 3.
Second shot, no good, and it is Joe Swanchera coming down with the rebound.
By the way, Nick McColgan into the game for Central. Among others, we'll try and figure out all of them. 3 again.
Another 3 is good. St. Scholastica lighten it up from beyond the arc, and they're back up by 3, 19-16.
Drake Johnson out there on the floor as well for the Dutch.
Flynn picks up his dribble. McColgan with the basketball. Step in, 14-footer good.
Nice little jumper from there. Though, interestingly enough, if you watch, especially the men's game analytically, that's not a shot you see as much anymore. It's more outside the arc and inside the defensive arc is where everybody wants to shoot.
Absolutely not. You're so right.
Oh, great steal.
Swanchera's pass taken away. Flynn trying to finish. Deflected on the way up by Colin Anderson, and it will remain Central basketball.
Joe Weber into the game, sophomore, 5'9", out of Dunlap, Iowa. He'll replace Flynn, who took a spill there. I think Flynn was expecting a foul, but a good no call by the official. It was ball, and Flynn made the physical contact. As we get another sub onto the floor here for the Saints, you get to see Isaiah Hendrickson, the 6'3" freshman guard out of Duluth, Minnesota.
And McColgan got a couple of minutes of playing time still on the floor. He's only played in a couple games on the season coming in, but they play a lot of guys in their rotation.
Geez.
Long shot for McColgan, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound.
Yeah, that's going on Goggle Eye. He was shoving his compatriot on the other side, on the other jersey, out of bounds. Goggle Eye, by the way, early nominee for the all-tournament team.
In terms of name?
Yeah, just love the name.
Gotcha. That's Keith. That's the Keith McMillan.
Yeah, I should have said
right?
all-tournament name team.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't fill that in. Nice rebound.
Yeah, Swanchera. That's how you pronounce that thing that is spelled C-V-A-N-C-A-R-A. Swanchera.
That one's an early nominee too. It's not as great as our favorite out of Whitworth, which now I've, of course, just totally blanked.
I don't know. We're talking about Ben Coffin. That's
I didn't even think
Williams.
about him.
That's Williams. Sorry.
Yeah, but I was thinking about great steal.
Up ahead, taking it all the way, coast to coast. Colin Anderson with the finish.
These two teams certainly trading blows in this one early on with 11.5 left.
Anderson coming off the bench tonight. He's started in 4 games this season, one of 4 Saints averaging in double figures. Lead is again 3 points for St. Scholastica. Central trying to answer, trying to tie it up. Shot no good. Off the back iron by Johnson. Saints with a rebound.
St. Scholastica still shooting 57% from the floor, 5 of 9 from deep, while Central's now 44% from the floor.
Siljan has the ball stolen away. Johnson hands it off. McColgan with the finish.
Could have been a goaltending call there. Slapping the glass as the ball was up on it, but didn't matter, went in anyway.
Still moving. Is that where our camera's not attached to that?
It is, but you can barely tell.
It's good. I like that. 3 ball is good this time for Isaiah Hendrickson.
They are now 6 of 10 from deep is St. Scholastica in this one.
If Brian Gregorich were calling this game, he would say, remember Brian Gregorich, our friend from Las Vegas, he'd say, bring out the hoses, everybody's on fire. Shot a little bit short that time.
Oh, the hose
for
hit that
Caden
one.
Muck.
These two teams matched up well, I think, in this one early on.
Yeah, this is a really competitive game and a lot of fun. We try to, whenever possible, and of course,
Oh, good.
that's okay.
Sorry, I
Tell
thought the
us-
alley-oop was going. Just missed it.
3 on the way from the wing,
Yeah,
a little bit
deep.
too strong by Siljan. What I was going to try to say was we always try to match up teams with someone who should be a competitive game and then someone who might be a stretch, someone
Right.
who you'd have to stretch yourself to beat. We don't always have the options to do that because, again, it's not an invitational, right? People
Well, I would love to have seen
self-select coming here.
Scranton and Amherst take on, but I know we had challenges getting that one put together on the women's side. That
John-
would have been epic.
John Ford's shot no good, and it will be Central basketball underneath.
You're going to have a talk with Craig Duma. These multiple subs at the same time thing. I don't like it.
I mean, it bothers the stat crew more than it bothers us. I just
have
like
to figure out who's in and who's out.
All right, it's just like there's just 18 guys on the roster, 3 scratches. Should be able to figure it out. Inbound is taken away by Swanchera. Swanchera taking it all the way himself.
Wow.
The 6'6" freshman finishes, and he's going to go to the line.
He hit that about 45 degrees body-wise. He was not straight up and down as Craig Duma is going to call timeout here.
Yeah, great control of his body. Swanchera, just a really amazing job getting that ball down the floor. Swanchera out of Duluth-Denfeld High School. And we've got, as Dave said, a timeout on the floor. A full timeout. We'll take one as well. 9:31 to go here in the first half. St. Scholastica leads Central 26-20 here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. Game 2 of 16 here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. Not all today. That would be a record. But St. Scholastica leads Central by the score of 26-20. Scholastica from the floor, 10 of 17, 59%. 6 of 10 from downtown. On the opposite side, Central 8 of 20 from the floor, 40%. 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, which is also 40%, pretty even on the rebounding. Scholastica's turned it over 6 times compared to 4 for Central. Just kind of the nature of this back and forth, high-paced game. Not that either team is not doing a great job taking care of the basketball so far.
No, it's just both defenses have stepped up and gotten opportunities. It's not a sloppy game. It's just a well-played game so far, especially by the defenses, despite the fact that both teams are shooting extremely well to start this game. St. Scholastica 59% as mentioned, and Central's cooled off a bit. They're now 8 of 20 from the floor.
If you're watching back out east or out in the Central time zone, it's a great basketball game to rev you up right before you go to sleep. Swanchera finishes the three-point play with the foul shot.
This would definitely be a game that I'd need a few more hours decompress.
We could probably go have a beer after this, right?
Oh, I'm up for it. I know Larry's up for it.
I think someone offered us a beer before the game.
Oh, yeah. Something about St. Scholastica fans, if you're tuned into us while in the building, there's a special section for you to sit in behind us.
That's right. Go for it. We'll take
Well,
it.
interestingly enough, as we get a sub for Central, I don't see a lot of fans tuned in right up there in the stands right now, but I found in some of the events I've gone to, like soccer championships, there are fans tuned into the game from the stands so they can find out what's going on. It's starting to become a trend even on live streaming.
And even with like a 45-second delay.
Wow!
Noah Ross comes off the bench and he puts one in.
That was close to NBA range for the freshman. Yeah, the delay isn't as brutal, but 30 seconds roughly, but it's more about just filling in the holes of what you didn't see or what you don't know going on.
Right, or if you saw something and want to see it again, you'll see it
And
on
that's
the delay.
the truth. Nice drive to the basket.
Adam Flynn with the finish.
Central's got to get a couple stops, though. St. Scholastica has come down and scored on numerous possessions on their first shots. The Dutch have got to do something to shut things down.
Yeah, Duma can't be happy with not getting what he wanted out of his timeout.
No, agreed, especially that three-pointer. Even though I will admit the defender was right there in his face, you still gave him an opportunity.
Swanchera
Well, they're
Wow,
also hitting everything.
This kid is good. I'm really impressed.
They're now 12 of 19 from the floor.
You know, it's going to be hard to do better than that. You got to get some stops, as you were saying.
Swanchera, yeah, really good. Nice hedge there on the defense, too. Flashed up and snuffed out the opportunity inside. Nice feed, though, on the back door block.
Ander Arnold, the freshman, with the block shot there. Thinking about the three, trying to kick it inside, and there's going to be a foul called.
Yeah.
It's going to go against Central as the Central player who
John Fuhr. John Fuhr shoved what is it?
Swanchera,
sorry.
Yeah.
He shoved Swanchera out of the way so he could get the ball.
Yeah, and that's not as allowed as you would think it would
Frowned upon.
be in this establishment.
Nicely finished.
John Force, sophomore out of Macomb, Illinois. Or is that Macomb? Actually, I don't know that. Macomb or Macomb? Ooh, nice no-look pass. Swanchera with another finish. Swanchera having a great game here. 7 points here in the early going. 3 of 3 from the floor.
Yeah, 3 of 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, finished that three-point play when it was interrupted by the timeout. Here is Central on the inside. Shot no good by Caden Mock. And another rebound for St. Scholastica. A lot of one and outs here right now.
Oh, no, you did not.
Yes, he did. Colin Anderson buries it from about 28 feet out at a 30-second timeout.
Suddenly a 15-point game as the Dutch cannot stop the Saints.
8 of 12 from downtown. What a performance here right now. 8 of 12.
In most
I just have to look at that again.
To be honest with you, those misses were early.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good
They were in their
point.
opening 4 or 5 shots were their misses.
They've had a 9-0.
Donkulous.
They've had a 9-0 run. Largest lead of the game right now, 37-22. Glad you joined us here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. You are getting a barn burner that's turning into a little bit of a runaway, where Central started off strong. It was a back and forth battle, and now it went from 28-22 to 37-22 in seemingly the blink of an eye, or the blink of a Colin Anderson 3 and a Noah Ross 3, and Swanchera just making stuff happen on the inside. Flynn throws it up, a floater from 14, no good, and another rebound for St. Scholastica. Rebounding edge, just 13-9, but it seems like they've gotten a bunch of them here in the last 5 minutes.
Central led 16-13 with 13:47 left. Now find themselves down 15.
Swanchera, another shot, gets the high bounce off the back iron and gets it to fall, 39-22. Central with the basketball. There you have they're in the white with the red numerals. Haven't had the ball much here in the last 6 minutes or so.
26-9 run, Pat.
Shot no good by Flynn, 26-9. That is huge. It's a really long run. It's a very hot streak right now. And there's a travel and a turnover, as it was Isaiah Hendrickson putting the feet a little bit too fast.
I'm going to double check that I didn't completely botch that, but 16-13 was that lead for Central.
Yeah, 10-10 would be a good place to measure
26-6 run in 6:57.
That's impressive. A couple substitutions. Cade Goggle-Eye back onto the floor. Quinn Fisher on the floor. Avery Kozlowski getting into the game for the first time, and there's a basket.
Yeah, that was by
Central.
Flynn again. Yeah, Flynn's got a nice little jump shot, but unfortunately they're having to rely on him right now.
Right, the guys inside, they're not able to get the ball to the guys inside, and they're getting a lot of, as I said, one-and-done possessions. Colin Anderson, little underhand layup.
And Saints are getting one-and-dones too, but they're converting on them.
Right.
That's the problem.
You don't need an offensive rebound if you make the shot. Flynn for 3.
Come on. At least, I think Flynn feels like he's got to do something because he's got to be the one to step up because he's the one who's hitting these shots right now.
Well, and he's the one who has the basketball. Here's a three-point attempt on the other end. This one goes around and off for Quinn Fisher.
That's their first miss
in a while, right? Seems
Yeah.
like it. The 8 of 14 now from beyond the arc.
Trying to figure out the last time they missed a 3.
3 ball on the way, and that one is good.
Never
Nothing but the
mind.
bottom of the net for Gerard Wilkin. Yeah, right. It's a
Why
moot
bother?
point. 44-27. Well, we've seen Central come back from big deficits before.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the football season, so we'll see. I just had to get one more football reference.
I
in
like
here.
it. We got football teams.
Coming back the other way.
Ooh, I heard it from here.
Did you hear the slap? Quinn
Yeah.
Fisher receiving a little contact.
That was
Be the recipient of foul shots here.
Now he finally looks at his wrist, and almost like he shouldn't look at it to acknowledge that he got hit, and finally he took a look at it. That'll be red in the morning.
First shot on the way is good. Anderson, a 76% foul shooter on the season, averaging 12.6 points on the season coming into tonight.
Saints are shooting 68% from the floor, 17 of 25. They're 64% from deep.
Second shot is good. They're shooting 29.5% from beyond the arc coming into the night.
Yeah,
they're
apparently they want to stay here.
Right. Okay, the entire UMAC now needs to come down here to play home games against St. Scholastica.
That might be an interesting decision in a conference meeting.
Be nice and warm anyway. Ball stolen away by Goggle Eye. Pass up ahead for Carlson. He gets it back.
Rains and snow's definitely less. Rain's far less.
That is true. Rain not as much of an issue in Duluth right now. Anderson.
Oh, he thought about
Nice
it.
little behind the back dribble, step back three. Ha! Hit that one. Jeez. I am running out of adjectives. 44.
No, 4 for 4.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what you're doing with the
4 for 4 from deep. 6 for 6 from the floor, 16 points.
Flynn's shot no good, and Mock could not come down with the rebound that they sorely needed. Carlson off the glass for 2.
They've scored 51 points, and we got 4:22 left in this half.
Well, it's a good thing we've got a record book to consult because, let's see, we're talking about 10 made threes right now. Grinnell's never been to this tournament. So we'll take a look at how this record book is shaping up when we come back. Craig Duman with the timeout for Central. We'll be back after this. Back out here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. It has been all St. Scholastica here over the course of about the past 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a 10-10 game, and it's now 51-27.
Well, Central led 16-13.
Central led 16-13. That is a good checkpoint to go back to.
I'll double check when it was. It was 16-13 with 13:47 remaining in the half. It has been a 44.
Mock shot blocked. Put back is going to count. He'll go to the line.
So it's been a 31-13 run in the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very impressive show for St. Scholastica so far. 10 of 15 from beyond the arc, which is kind of hard to ponder here in just 16 minutes of action. Mock is going to try to complete the three-point play here. He's a 68% foul shooter on the season.
In that run.
And the shot is good, so it's 51-30. Davis counting up three-pointers that were made in that run. A bunch.
I got at least 6.
Carlson has the ball stolen away, taken away by Johnson. Johnson up ahead, finishes with the layup, 51-32.
Nice little mini run here for Central to at least stem the tide.
Yeah, it's like the first time that Duma's gotten a timeout and actually gotten his team to perform.
Right, gotten something out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
On both ends of the floor, too.
Right. Driving baseline, Carlson kicking it back outside. Now Siljan on the baseline.
Great ball, well, not great ball move, but solid.
Anderson has to save it. 10 on the shot clock. Carlson drives baseline, puts it up, gets the rim, doesn't get it to go, goes out of bounds, and it will be Scholastica basketball with 20 seconds to shoot.
I'm not saying that was a bad shot, but it's the first shot they've taken that I didn't love the idea. They've had so many open looks.
Yeah, exactly. Open looks from like 24 and beyond.
But not only that, but the save over here by Anderson.
Yeah, very athletic play. Nicely done. 6'1 senior out of Eagan, Minnesota, a suburb of St. Paul. 19-point lead for the Saints. There's a three ball on the way for Carlson. off the back iron, no good. Offensive rebound, Siljan for Gogolai. 16 on the shot clock. Gogolai gets it back, 3:10 and counting remaining here in the first half. Underhanded shot, just kind of threw it up there. Anderson gets that one to fall. Anderson, 6 of 6, 7 of 7 from the floor.
Unfortunately, a couple of those misses caused them to go down from 70% from the floor. They're now at 67.
Well, Anderson is doing everything he can to prop that back up.
3 points up.
Mock, left-handed shot, good. Nice job working his way in the post.
Patient.
Yes, exactly. Figuring out which move was going to get him around. 53-34.
No.
Yeah, Anderson, a little short that time. Rebounded by
That did hit the rim, okay.
the Dutch, yes.
When I look, never mind. It looked odd from what I saw, but
There's Mock. Mock puts it up for 2. Mock.
it's the mock run right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Gogolai there, a 6'1" freshman, all he can do is just kind of throw his arms up. And yeah, now David Staniger is going to take a 30-second timeout.
And he has to.
It's not a use it or lose it, though, right?
No. We're not in that scenario, but he's got to because they seem to have downshifted the program there, or the run. They need to upshift. They seem to have slowed out coming out of that timeout. And
Right,
he wants them to get fired up.
Exactly. We talked. I talked very briefly about how much Central likes to go deep into its rotation. They've kind of played now 8 of the 9 guys that they would normally play on a regular basis.
Right.
And Marcus Ashford Jr. is a scratch tonight and has only played in 2 games this season. But when he was around, and for that matter, when Thomas Spear was around, those were guys who heavy in the rotation. Spear scored, I think, 27 points a game in his 2 games. So they're missing those guys at the top of the rotation. But St. Scholastica has played 10 guys here in the early going, and they've all gotten at least 3 minutes, and they've all put points on the board, more or less. They've all been productive, and there is a foul there underneath. Anderson is going to be the recipient of that foul, or draw that foul. That's the other thing I like about these box scores is the fouls drawn is one of my favorite new stats.
I love that stat. I know some didn't understand why it would exist. It tells you so much about a guy who may not put a lot of points up or assists or rebounds, but if he's drawn like 7 fouls, defensively he has been involved in the game.
Absolutely. Carlson with the basketball, 15 on the shot clock. Outside for Siljan. Siljan is going to bowl over the defender there, and
got a little too excited there.
Rogers with a foul drawn for Central. So second foul on Siljan. Fisher has a pair. Berger has a pair. And the lead is 17 here for the Saints. Mock with it over on the far wing. 18 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass for Rogers. Rogers head fake. 3 ball on the way. This one by Johnson.
That might have caught iron. Might have.
I don't think so. Well, the shot clock operator didn't think so. Here's Anderson up ahead the other way with the layup. Nice long entry pass to get it out there. And Anderson with an easy finish, and he is now 8 of 9 from the floor.
80 seconds left at 55 points. Saints have cooled off a little bit in the last couple.
Yeah, they're no longer on pace for 120.
Yeah.
It's like this shot that is good.
Well, and Mock's
in the lane
helped
for
with
Mock.
that. And Mock with another basket. He's kind of gotten the Dutch kind of back in gear a little bit and helped stymie CSS.
Yeah, Mock with 9, Flynn with 9.
Oh, great pass.
And Anderson, just again, now Anderson 9 of 10 from the floor. Remember that shot that you didn't like is that 3-pointer a couple minutes ago. That's the only shot he's missed tonight.
Right.
22 points for Colin Anderson, senior off the bench. Saints get it back. Anderson thinking about it. Up top, Nick Carlson hands it off for Gogolai. 14-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock here as we wind down the first half of action. It's been an action-packed one for sure. 57-38, St. Scholastica with the lead. Shot clock at 8. 3 ball on the way. Again, Colin Anderson. They cannot stop this guy. 25 points in the first half. First half.
10 of 11, 5 for 6.
This is crazy.
And they've got 60. They're back up to shooting 60% 11 for 18 from deep.
2 seconds left, and that
Oh, why not?
at the buzzer is good.
Sure.
Shot in the corner, good by Cade Terrell. And our halftime score is 60-41. I don't know what you do against Colin Anderson in the second half. Bracketed coverage, right? You double team him and you don't let him get the
Box
basketball.
and 1.
Box and 2.
Yeah, a triangle and 2.
No, I like the box and 2.
And you're like, well, if you can get away with
You
it.
can get 6 guys on the
Why
floor.
not?
Right? That's what it's going to take. Pretty impressive first half of action for St. Scholastica. We're going to take a break of about 12 minutes or so. You can look at the live stats if you like. There's a link on d3hoops.com, or we'll bring you the halftime stats coming up in just a few minutes. It's been a dandy here in our first men's game at the d3hoops.com Classic. We're at the half. St. Scholastica leads Central 60-41. Back out here at the half, St. Scholastica leading Central 60-41. It is, if it has not even been that close, the 19-point advantage here at the half is the closest it's been in a while. It was an amazing first half, especially statistically, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, because I forgot to clear the scoreboard there, but whatever, we can fix that. Statistically, listen, the game started off, it looked pretty smooth, looked like even, no big deal, but St. Scholastica just absolutely went on a tear after going down 16-13. They were shooting 23 of 34 from the floor. That's 68%, and they were at 70 at one point. 11 for 18 from beyond the arc. Compare that to Central, who's shooting in a normal game pretty solid, 45% from the floor, 33% from beyond the arc. But look at the bench points. 37-4 in favor of St. Scholastica.
Yeah, and that is basically all, not all, but a lot of it is Colin Anderson, 6'1" senior guard out of Eagan, Minnesota. 10 of 11 from the floor, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. The scoring record for a game in regulation
yes, I'd like to know.
Here at the D3Hoops.com Classic for a men's in a men's game is 38. The overall record is 40. Obviously, we'll need a good second half in order to threaten those, but a great first half for Colin Anderson.
No, great. And the other thing, too, and I saw the tweet from St. Scholastica, Colin doing Colin-like things. And I know he plays well, but he took a shot from the other zip code with confidence and hit it. He just plays confidently. And by the way, he's coming off the bench. I mean, and so was Swanchera. Swanchera, thank you. He was coming off the bench. That's how scary this St. Scholastica team really is. I'd love to know what Coach Domo's thinking about doing for this second half to try and slow them down.
I don't know what he's doing. What I do know is that he was very loud about it with his team at the break. Obviously, lots of things to talk about for Central in order to try to figure out what you're going to do defensively in the second half. We talked about Anderson. Obviously, he's got 25 points. Wilkin with 10 for St. Scholastica. On the Central side, 3 guys with 9, and that is Adam Flynn, Caden Mock, and Cade Terrell.
Well, conversation with the lead official and the coaches. Not sure.
The TV, the scoreboard version of the clock is not agreeing with the up top version of it.
Yeah, but his hand signals didn't make it seem like that was the convo. They're going to take a quick moment here, see if they can get everything communicating with each other. Which I am glad now that I switched the clock direction.
Yeah, now you've got pointing at the real clock.
They also have the Saints for 5 timeout. Oh, no, they did call timeout. That's right. They did call timeout in the first half.
Yep. But just so
it might be what they talked about, just a little delay here.
So Central obviously is going to go, they were in the tough half of the gym to shoot in, as we call it, the half where the background is like, at times 90 feet behind you. They shot 17 to 37 from the floor, as you said, pretty good. 4 of 11 from downtown. That's something that they're going to want to change. They also rebounded poorly. We talked about a lot of possessions in which Central went 1 and out, took a shot, did not get the rebound, and St. Scholastica, that really fueled their run.
Yeah, and in turn, they were going 1 and out, but they were hitting everything. And that was the biggest key, was they couldn't seem to figure out, did Central, on how to slow them down, they weren't getting the stops that St. Scholastica was getting from Central. And Central, again, 45% from the floor is not a horrible number.
Right.
You want to aim for 45 to 50% in a normal game. The fact that they're down by 19 because the other team's shooting 68% is really the story there. But you're right. Central had a lot of opportunities during that run by the Saints where they went down, fired a shot, didn't get the rebound, had to come down the other direction, and St. Scholastica fired a shot and went in. That was the difference in the game so far.
Central comes into the night shooting 53% from the floor, so it's a little bit of an off night for them. Obviously, there's nothing to compare with what St. Scholastica is doing here, although, as you mentioned, it's not the first time that Scholastica has scored 60 points in a half this season.
Second time they've done it when they've scored at least 60 in a half. What is going to be interesting is, can they keep that up? Of course, this delay right now, I'd have the teams allowed to go out there and shoot again if I could.
Yeah. Well, you're in charge, aren't you?
I apparently was earlier. People think I am. Coach Yosef of Emmanuel thought I could give him 5 more minutes of practice.
Andy
sure why he
Andy
thought I could
Yosef
do
is
that.
trying to get whatever advantage he can at this tournament.
Of course, he's won how many games? 900 some odd games?
Now, I made a mistake in the schedule here, and when I made the program.
Oh.
Central's not playing St. Scholastica twice.
No, that would be a unique thing here at the tournament. We've had 3 games
We've had
before.
teams play 3, yes.
Right, but I've never seen them play 2.
A home and home.
I mean, I've actually advocated for Ramapo and New Jersey City to play a conference game here. That was laughed at. I'm not sure why.
Oh, you want to have those New Jersey Athletic Conference officials call that game?
Oh, no.
No, you don't.
No, actually, I don't.
No,
I'd
really
rather
don't.
have these guys call it. Maybe that would be an more interesting game. This delay is because the scoreboard and the stats system and whatever is not communicating with our official scoreboards. The clocks are okay. Well, we think. I do see a 10-minute clock up there. I'm not sure if that's part of the problem.
They were running it earlier.
They're clearly looking at computer systems to see what's going on here. Again, I just have the team. I don't let the team shoot here if we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
By the way, this doesn't happen often.
No, we've not had something
maybe
like this.
One other technical difficulty?
We haven't tried to do this, have we? Have we?
What's that?
I don't know. Feed all these things differently. We've had the clock on the scoreboard, I guess, right?
We've had The only thing I know that they've had issues with was one time the scoreboard or the one of the backboard clocks was malfunctioning. We had a slight delay to fix that. I now see another tech has arrived, one who has a little more familiarity with the building. Oh, make it an update.
So the team should come back out and shoot.
Would you let him shoot?
We got to get warm up. Yeah, so they may come back out and warm up.
Yeah, they might let him shoot the rock, as it were. By the way, slight note, just because I mentioned the rock. Wilson, the ball of choice this year, after a few years with the rock.
We're talking about Dwayne Johnson. All right. So coming up tomorrow on the D3Hoops.com Classic, we have a quadruple header starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We start with women's action. We start with 2 games featuring top 10 teams battling out against each other. 10th ranked DeSales, the Bulldogs out of Center Valley, Pennsylvania, against 6th ranked Amherst, the Mammoths out of Amherst, Massachusetts. That's going to be followed at 4 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. Eastern by George Fox and Scranton. George Fox, the Bruins ranked number 9. Scranton, the Lady Royals, at number 2 in the country. 2 great women's basketball games to start off the action tomorrow in day 2 of the tournament. Then we're going to finish off the night with men's basketball action. Ramapo, stop if you've heard this before. Ramapo is at the D3Hoops.com Classic this year for the 9th time in 10 years.
What?
They will face off with the Muskies of Muskingum. Muskingum here for the first time. I'm sure Chuck McBreen, if he has any voice left, can show the guys around. And then we'll follow that with New Jersey City University against Central. Central, of course, get this if they ever get to finish this game at any point.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if we need all those things, but of all those things that talk to each other, as long as the scoreboard does. Well, you can see here the scoreboards don't talk to each other. So that's what's going on here. This extended halftime delay. At least it's the last game of the night.
Well, that is true. And I'm
second
fresh.
half delayed scoreboard prob. There you go.
There you go. That's all I can fit. I have character limitations.
Fans are awesome.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment when we know a little bit more. Here at the half, St. Scholastica leading Central 60-41.
I'm not.
Back out here at the half, we are in an extended halftime period. They're dealing with some technical difficulties over at the scorers table. We briefly went through the halftime stats. A couple of other items of note in terms of foul trouble. Nobody with more than 2, and we did not even really get into the bonus in the first half. But Quinn Fisher, Craig Berger, and Jack Siljan with 2 fouls apiece for St. Scholastica. Caden Mock, Keaton Rogers, and Adam Flynn with a pair apiece for Central.
Should point out, by the way, Mock the biggest reason Central's still relatively in this game. He was kind of the lone offense there for a while to kind of slow down the Saints.
Yeah, he had a big final 4 minutes or
Yeah.
so of the first half after that big long stretch in which the game went from 16 to 13 in favor of Central to, like 75 to 7 or whatever it was in favor of St. Scholastica. I'm only slightly exaggerating.
47-25.
47-25, so that was a 34 to 9 run.
No, 47-25 was the run.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, that was my mistake on clarifying.
Well, sure, that's what
to
we
clear
ended.
out from the 13-47 mark to the end.
Yeah, and I see
St. Scholastica outscored them 47-25. And Mock,
that 51-27 is probably the peak of that. So 51-27.
yeah, and that was a 38-11 run in 9 flat.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's Mock layup, Mock free throw.
Yeah.
Mock layup,
Yep.
Mock jumper. So
Yep.
he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 points after that peak.
Nine. All nine
did
of
I
his
add
all
more?
9 of his points
Yeah.
in the final 4.5
2,
minutes.
4, 6, yep, 8, 9. So he had the 9 points after that peak point to help kind of slow things down. From that point, let's see here. From that point on, yeah, it was only a 14-9 quote-unquote run for St. Scholastica. So you can see the difference in what Mock helped contribute there and actually slow Saints down. Now the scoreboards, by the way, have been turned off. They might be rebooting them to some degree.
Control-Alt-Delete. Mock's had kind of an up-and-down season. He
Force
had
quit.
14 points against Case Western Reserve, 29 against Greenville. That is, of course, a team that pushes the ball up and down the floor. 27 against Grinnell, very similar. 28 against Bethany Lutheran. I'm not aware of them being a system or a run-and-gun type of team. But, 5 against Loris. 15 against Wartburg, most of them from the foul line. But he's a guy who, Mock comes into this weekend averaging about 17.8 points a game. So he's a guy who you expect a lot of offense from. Obviously, as a junior, other guys, other upperclassmen on this team as well. We appreciate everybody who is watching us during this extended
We
halftime
can switch this into hoops
delay.
if we want to. Get a coach over here.
Right,
Do
exactly.
a little powwow, a little chat.
The first game, of course, that was here this evening was won by the University of New England as they defeated Milwaukee School of Engineering. That was a women's basketball game. We talked about the 4 games coming up tomorrow, 2 of them including teams from the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Looks like everything is synced up. Larry
Maybe.
Radloff,
We don't have a score yet.
Larry Radloff, the alternate official.
The alternate official, let's go.
Grabs the game ball.
Just says, let's go now.
Let's do it. All right.
We will do it, and we will do it now, people.
We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Yeah, we will. Not the original version.
60-41 is the score. They'll put that up at some point here.
PA announcer, appreciate your patience.
Yeah.
We appreciate the patience of the viewers at home.
We appreciate the fact
The
that
fact that there's 140 of you watching this game at
well, we tweeted it well,
11
and
o'clock at night.
and we need to get that extra basketball off the table.
Well, we can get our alternate
You know, I
official
can
if
do
he
that.
wasn't going the wrong way.
I could do that.
We will get this game underway now. That's the good news. As I figure out how we can clear the information that I had up there. I can't remember which board I'm using. There we go.
So, as a refresher, and however both teams huddled up around the around our lead official, it is St. Scholastica in the blue with the yellow numerals, the gold numerals, and the white trim. It is the Dutch of Central with the white uniforms, red and gray trim, and now what do we got?
No.
The score is 60-0, and
Nope,
that's
not accurate.
That's only slightly indicative of the first half.
It's not accurate. I'm sorry.
There we go, 60-41. As we all know, the scoreboard is not official, but
It's
it'd be
helpful.
nice to reflect it accurately. 1955 and counting. Here we go with the Saints attacking the basket to the right-hand side of your screen here in the second half. First 3 ball of the half on the way, and that one is no good. And the rebound goes out of bounds. Fisher's shot, no good.
Clearly, Pat, the delay has cooled off the Saints.
That's the reason, yes.
Clearly, as you can tell from that one miss on their first shot.
And the sarcasm with which Dave is dripping here.
I hope that was picked up.
Three ball on the way, and that is no good.
Oh no.
Off and over the
No,
back. That's not going
no.
to screw things up, is it?
Not just going to delay us as we figure out how to get the ball out of there. I mean, if we can't be
Is
delayed one
it
way,
in the triangle? Is
yeah,
that the
it's
deal?
literally caught in the way of the stanchion.
Well, then we need it.
Oh,
okay.
show off.
See, I thought you. Thank you, Nick Carlson getting that ball down. Refresh the lineups here.
Please.
Goggle Eye, Fisher, Carlson, Jared Wilkin, and Craig Berger on the floor for the Saints.
Oh.
And an
Offensive.
illegal screen, right?
Yeah, screen at the top.
And then on the other side, we've got
And then he explains it.
Adam Flynn, Drake Johnson, Keaton Rogers on the floor, along with Sean Kostick getting the call here in the second half, and Caden Mock.
Something
So
to keep
Cade
it.
Terrell not starting the second half.
Something to keep in mind when you're setting a screen. You can't expend your body outside of the frame of your shoulders.
No puffer fish.
And hips. Yep. Feet, too. You can't have your feet outside your hips.
Flynn for three, around and off. Rebound, battled for, and boy, barely, maybe controlling it. Fisher does.
Oh, he did.
Gets it up ahead for Carlson. Carlson, 1 of 5 from the floor in the first half, now 2 of 6.
Well done.
First bucket of the second half for either team. The lead is up to 21 for the Saints.
I'm impressed so far with the Saints. I think the Dutch is a good team. Saints are just on target right now.
They are lighting things up. There's a fall away in the lane, no good.
That's pushing it. Look for your teammates.
Got the offensive rebound, though. Kick out outside, Rogers. This one's airballed. Mock with the rebound, 15 to shoot. Working his way back in, gets it back to Rogers. Second chance from the wing, and this one's around and in.
Good work on the offensive board there, Mock, keeping kind of the composure of the team there and understanding that he could literally run the offense from the post.
Interesting season for St. Scholastica. Here's a steal for Rogers. 3-7, as we mentioned. 2-2 in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference. It's Mock with the basketball. Now Flynn.
Yeah, the UMAC not one of those conferences that tends to shine.
Right, and they got their doors blown off by St. Thomas, which happens. They lost to Concordia Moorhead by 5. Lost to River Falls, which will be here at this tournament, 83-60. Lost to Eau Claire, 71-52. Yeah, they played some pretty good teams out of conference. Lost to Loris by 21. So they didn't really shy away from strong non-conference activity.
By the way, Craig Berger getting the foul because he lowered his shoulder into the player. You can't lower your shoulder into a guy and expect to get away with things. That's his third foul, so he's out as a sub. No, I mean, hey, I appreciate that they're going out there and challenging themselves and going up against some of the best teams in their region. That only is going to make you better.
Right, exactly.
And they came here.
Three-pointer attempt, no good by Kostick. Offensive rebound, kicked outside to Rogers.
Of course, Central plays in a really good league.
There's a three on the way, and that is good for Drake Johnson.
They kind of heated up here, folks.
Yep, lead is down to 15. Central 4-5. Lost to Case Western Reserve. Lost 145-140 to Greenville. Last game they played was at Grinnell, 134-102.
That's just asking for a bruising.
Oh, no good. It just hung on the rim, and Wilkin could not will it into the basket.
Hey, listen, center here on a run.
Central,
apologize, I did say that wrong. 6-2 to start this half.
Flynn's pass deflected, but Mock comes up with it. Shot blocked in the paint. Nope, there's going to be contact, and it will be a foul against St. Scholastica. First team foul of the second half for either team.
I will give Coach Duma's team credit here. They've come out, they've attacked. Saints have missed some shots on the other side, which how many times do you see a team play really well and shoot the lights out of a building in a first half and then struggle to start a second half? It's pretty common. And Center's taking advantage of it right now to kind of chip away at the lead.
Well, it's impossible, really, to shoot 68% in the second half also, right?
Oh, if you did, you're rewriting a lot of record books.
Mock makes the first. Mock into double figures now. Second shot on the way off the front iron, no good.
That one looked like it got stuck in his hand.
But the rebound tips out to him.
Good job. Oh, then left him open.
Yep, Kostick fed him, shot no good. Rebound saved for going out of bounds by Colin Anderson.
Good no call there. Mock went up and he was contact, yes. But the defenders were already there. Mock actually is the one who made the contact, and good no call by the official.
And Anderson gets it into the front court and takes a timeout. Dave Staniger will bring his team up for a full timeout. We'll take a break. 16:21 to go here in the second half. It's 62-48. St. Scholastica up over Central. Back out here at South Point Arena and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the 10th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh here in the second game of the day, the second of 2, second of 16 for the tournament. St. Scholastica leading Central College 62-48.
Gotta figure out what
Carlson
game,
loses the basketball.
what game this is in the overall history.
Oh, I can actually get that for you.
Do you have that?
Fairly
You do
quickly.
math pretty fast, though.
I do math quickly, but I pulled together the standings of this so I could put it in the program.
By the way, into the game comes Jack Silgan, apologize.
Siljan, and it's not a round number. I remember
And
that much.
Quinn Fisher out. Well, yeah, because of that one year, right? The storm year.
That's right.
We got a delay.
Well, plus we also had that year where St. Vincent and Mary Hardin Baylor played 3 games apiece.
St. Scholastica, I think, had a player get up because I saw the official look down at their bench and he quietly sat down. I don't know if that's the delay.
Has that been changed, that rule? That's a thing people do.
Yeah, now I'm second guessing that. I just saw him look down. The guy immediately sat, and I wondered if that was. I think there may have been a clock issue. Of course, why not, right?
15:57 to go here in the second half. 20 on the shot clock.
Ops has gone home. Oh, tried to lob it in.
Rogers could not get it there, and it will be Scholastica ball.
That's an interesting comment there by Johnson. He wanted that ball further up. I don't know if Johnson can request that kind of pass in the post with that kind of defense on him. I don't think there's any way of lobbing it into him successfully.
Siljan with the basketball. A little bit off balance in the paint, does not fall. Mock with the board.
A lot of contact. Siljan was looking for a call. I think it was a mutual contact.
Lead down to 14 and make it 12 as Flynn gets one to rattle home.
Listen, they've come out the second half with a different attitude, and the Saints are cold. It's 9-2 to start this second half.
Central hasn't had a great second half. They're 3 of 11, but they are chipping into this as Carlson puts it in for his second bucket of the night. He's got 6.
Well, what was their biggest lead?
24, 51-27.
So since then, it's been 23-11 Central.
Mock around and off, no good. Wilkin with the rebound, pushing it up ahead for Goggle Eye, and then a pass deflected. But Anderson comes up with it. Little step back, does not fall. Putback is good for Jared Wilkin.
So back out to 16. Good response by the Saints there on a mini 4-0 run here.
Lead back up to 16. Chance of defense from the Scholastica bench. Backing in, spin move.
That's
in. Nice basket there for Drake Johnson.
That's earning it. That is earning it.
Freshman looking pretty good here tonight. He's got 11.
Wait, real quick. Decent crowd for these two teams.
They're cold weather states, man. They want to be here.
Well,
that's why I'm here every year.
Shocked yesterday.
That's why I'm here every year.
I think it's cooler here than it is on the East Coast right now, believe it or not.
Well, we're not from the East Coast, my man. And Carlson gets it to rattle in. Carlson heating up. Back-to-back buckets for that young man.
just cooler than we normally see out here.
Sure, but 50 degrees is better than the...
That's true.
Although it's been actually unseasonably warm in the upper Midwest the last week or so as well.
I heard all the cold airs in Alaska.
I mean, that's a place where...
below in Fairbanks, I believe.
That's a place where cold air goes, right? Rogers, 3-ball on the way. No good off the back iron. Rebound, Mock corrals it.
You know, Mock he doesn't do it flashy.
Flynn for 3. Flynn with 14, and the lead is down to 13.
Central has come out. They're just going back to basics. They're going back to what they need to do, and they're taking advantage of now the Saints struggling on this end of the floor. I'm not saying it's because of that end, but the Saints now are struggling from there, and the Dutch are taking advantage of it like the Saints did in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4 for 8 from the floor, which is not 67%, and that's definitely struggling. But Carlson's had a good couple of minutes, but he misses that one.
That's just a flat-out miss.
And Rogers with the board. Rogers with a big second half on the board.
That should go the other way, and it will.
And Flynn just runs through, and you're not allowed to do that.
He even hesitated and then took a step and went out of it. And again, it's lowering the shoulder that's going to get you in the most trouble. You cannot lower the shoulder.
Second personal foul for Flynn. First foul of the half for Central, 3 for the Saints, who have the basketball and a 68-55 lead. Swanchera back into the game for the Saints. Siljan with the basketball, guarded by Rogers.
Great defense.
Yeah, almost knocked it out of his hands, and then Swanchera steps out of bounds with it. Unable to control the basketball underneath the hoop.
But Rogers with just solid defense there. Didn't reach in, stayed in his spot, disrupted the play. Good work. Coach Duma clearly got this team, as you said, vocally, a little fired up.
Flynn for 3, no good.
That was a rush shot.
Swanchera with the rebound.
Mock almost got the steal.
Yes, he did.
Under Armour versus Nike, I just noticed, by the way, in the uniform battle.
All right.
Just random notes.
I did not keep track of that. Carlson turnover.
Oh, great pass!
Up ahead again for Flynn. Off the feed from Kostic.
Great pass with a little bit of English on it to bounce it just into his hands.
A little bit of Dutch.
Dutch. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, absolutely.
And the lead is down to 11. Anderson going to put it up, and he hits it. First bucket of the second half for Anderson. 3-ball gives him 28, and the lead is up to 14.
Well, Saints respond, and that's solid from them. They're still shooting 64% for the game. Obviously cooled off, but yeah, that's going to be a foul. But they respond, and that's what they need to do.
That's a hold against Jack Siljan.
Coach, I don't know why
his third foul.
Coach Staniger looks like he wants to argue that one, but like it happened on the other end of the floor. But that was a hold in football.
Yeah, right, exactly. They would have called that in football, and they don't call a lot of holds.
No, but that would have been a hold on the offensive lineman to keep the guy from getting to the quarterback.
He's pulling the jersey.
Oh, my goodness.
Mock, and then unable to hold on to the basketball. Good job by Swanchera.
First time I've seen him mishandle it.
I think so. Yeah, in the open floor.
Right. In an unforced hand. Yeah, good defense. I don't want to say that, but take away from the defense. I just mean it wasn't like it was an unsettled situation.
Just the 10th turnover on the night for Central, third of the half.
Mock almost gets it back.
Oh, and he almost did there, too, as it was Terrell this time.
Larry almost got called into service there. Got a little worried about our official. Thought he was going to get bowled over there for a second.
That's spares, right? I know we do not.
Nope.
Not for the last game.
Well, Larry.
Larry, get the stripes.
That official is Eugene Felice.
Foul.
Hold away from the ball.
Yes. Again, those same two guys, Siljan and Rogers. Did we come over and call the foul?
Yeah, he actually called it from the wing.
It was on Rogers, and that is foul number 3 on Rogers.
Oh, could have gotten a push off there.
Siljan makes it a 16-point game.
It honestly may have looked worse than it really was. Guy moving and arm happens to come up. Sometimes it looks like a push when it wasn't in reality.
Flynn's pass for Mock nearly taken away.
Man, that was a forced pass to Mock.
Kostic from 24, and he hits it.
I was about to say, I don't think I like that shot, but I like that shot.
I don't think I like that. I love that shot.
Exactly.
Great job.
That's how you say it.
Yes.
No, yes.
Yeah, that was when I shot. That's how the coaches talked.
Oh, rattled out.
And the defensive rebound for Kostic.
I know my coaches did when it came to three-pointers.
Kostic, this from 26, opposite, hit that one too! Back-to-back threes.
10-point game.
Sean Kostick, first 2 buckets of the night, coming at a big time. And a timeout.
Oh, yes. Yes, you must call timeout.
Yeah, you know when the point guard comes dribbling over to the bench that you know what's coming.
22-13 run in this half, and since the biggest lead, it's 36-22 center. We'll take it to the break. When we come back, find out how St. Scholastica answers this one. They only lead by 10 now. Central on a run, 73-63 they trail.
Back out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh as this has become a tight one here in the second half. Now a 10-point game, back-to-back 3 balls by Sean Kostick, junior out of Cape Coral, Florida, has made this a much tighter ball game than it was just a minute and a half ago. 3-pointer from the near wing for Goggle Eye, shot no good.
Great rebound. No.
Well, I mean, yes.
No.
Well, the people who have the whistles say that Joe Swanchera.
He went straight up for that ball. I thought that was a great rebound by going over a player, not over in a foul way, but going up and getting a ball he had a legit chance at. Oh, well.
Must have been contact that we didn't see.
I know. I get it.
I'm trying to advocate for the, is Angels advocate here? I don't even know what that is. It's Terrell with the basketball, near wing with it. Kostick the hot hand. Now he takes it to the basket, and Swanchera is going to
He got
get
the block
for the foul.
but his left arm and body got all body. Good attack there. They defended his 3 well, flashed out on him to keep him from taking the 3, but then he made a tremendous drive to the lane for the opportunity.
Swanchera with fouls on back-to-back possessions on his first 2 of the night. And Kostick makes the first foul shot. Coming back into the game, Jared Wilkin along with Isaiah Hendrickson. Swanchera will go to the bench along with Cade Goggle-Eye.
I got checked the last time it was single digits.
A week and a half ago.
Yeah. There it is.
Kostick makes the second.
30-22.
8-point ball game now.
At 8:44 left in the game. It was an 8-point ball game. I mean, yeah,
that's what it is now.
And that was the last time it was in single digits.
Anderson with the basketball. He was all offense in the first half. 25 points in 13 minutes off the bench. Carlson with it. Shot clock at 13. Spin move. Works away around his defender. Cannot get it to go. Leaves it too short against Drake Johnson.
How many missed layups has the Saints had in this half?
A handful, certainly. Here's a pull-up jumper in the lane. No good for Flynn. Decent look. Maybe needed to have his feet underneath him a little bit.
I felt like they needed to run the offense set there. I felt like you rushed it. You had an opportunity off a miss to cut this to 6, maybe 5.
And the ball deflected out of bounds by Johnson. It will remain Saints basketball. 73-65. St. Scholastica with the lead in the leather.
By the way, Coach Duma, right at the edge of where he can stand, and he's actually crouched down. You can't see him on camera right now, but he's crouched down. I keep thinking there's a sub waiting to come in.
Yes, he's going to walk into the game himself.
That would be something.
3-pointer on the way for Carlson. This one is short as well. Flynn up big with the board.
Now I'm starting to wonder if that new sight line is changing the equation.
Well, that's a shot that I don't know that Carlson's taken a lot of.
My goodness!
Chance for the 3-point play.
Got crushed in the process. Flynn attacks with reckless abandon, and he pays for it so often.
Yeah, unafraid to use his body. 6'1", I would guess he's 6'1", about 195. 4th foul for Fisher. And Flynn, a 75% free throw shooter, will get a chance to cut this lead to 5, and he does.
Unbelievable.
Flynn with 19, 10 of them here in the second half. 5-point ball game, 8:35 and counting.
Last time it was this close. 24-20.
Kennedy was president.
In the first half. Nice. I appreciate the effort.
Is that not right? Did I get that wrong? There's Anderson, and Anderson is going to draw the foul out on the perimeter.
Mock acting like, hey, it wasn't on me. Well, that was well after the whistle.
Third team foul for Central here this half. 8 for St. Scholastica.
I'm just impressed we're in this situation that we're in.
It's a good game. 3 ball, no good, around and off. Wilkin cannot get it to fall, but then picked up by Anderson and then lost. Working it back the other way on a 3-on-4, and in traffic, Johnson loses the basketball. 3-pointer on the near side, no good. Rebounded by Mock and Central.
Yeah, they got to settle down.
Yeah, looking to calm things down a little bit. It's been a little bit hectic, a little helter-skelter the last couple of trips up and down the floor.
Mock. Go ahead.
This is a 3 ball on the way for Kostick, and he is going to go to the line for 3.
You can't run into a shooter. And Anderson that time ran out, and then in the middle of the shot decided he was going to block out, and as a result, bowled over Kostick, who's going to go to the line for 3 here. By the way, Saints 1 foul away from putting Central in the double bonus. And we're at 7:46 here.
Kostick, an 81% free throw shooter coming in, and he has made all 3 of them here tonight.
This was a 21-point ball game?
Was it only 21? It's 24 even.
24?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 20-point flip right now.
Second shot, good, one more coming. Kostick now in double figures. All of them here in the second half. He was 0 for 2 from the floor in the first half. Now 2 for 2 from the floor, both from beyond the arc, and 4 for 4 from the line. Third shot. That one is good.
2-point ball game.
Wow.
In a half, Central has absolutely destroyed the Saints lead.
Well, we knew, you know that you can't continue to shoot 67% from the floor.
No,
but St. Scholastica has to do something here.
But now they're down to 57%, we should point out.
They're still shooting pretty well.
But it's all first half.
Anderson? Well, here's the thing, too, Dave. I mean, there's really, in all honesty, not taking a crazy ton of shots. There's 6 of 17 here in the second half. And on the opposite side, Central 9 of 21, 5 of 12 from beyond the arc, which is big, and not perfect, 7 of 8 from the line.
Another thing that popped out, this is only the 3rd time the Saints are going to the line tonight. They're 3 for 3. It was an and 1 and 2.
Well, they're shooting a bunch of perimeter shots.
Right, I'm just saying they're not attacking Central, so they're not gaining points there at the line.
First shot good. Anderson now with 29. Lead back up to 3.
3 timeouts each, by the way, for the teams.
Oh, and that second shot does not fall. Goes out of bounds off of the Saints' Jack Siljan.
Siljan was trying to argue it went off of Rogers, but it clearly went off of Siljan.
I would say nobody had a better view than the guy who made the call. So
right.
He was right there. Central with the basketball with a chance to tie this game after they were down by 24.
Or take the lead.
Well, it'd be hard to take the lead right now.
Well,
but
fair.
Not impossible, and they trying to save it from going out of bounds will remain Central ball.
I was thinking about the 3 and a foul since that's been
there have been a few
little bit common here.
There's been some of those. Johnson inbound in front of his own bench, guarded by Ander Arnold. He's gotten a little bit of playing time here. First time in the game in the second half.
But if I am the Dutch here, I'm not trying to tie it here. I'm trying to just get a basket.
You're trying to get whatever comes naturally. That's
right. Don't
Here's
take
Mock
the
down low with 5 to shoot. Back outside, Flynn for the 3. No good, back iron. Mock can't hold it. Rogers can't hold it. And finally, the Saints come up with it. Wilkin with the basketball. Now Anderson, 6:47 and counting. Scholastica trying to hold on to a lead that they once had that was 8 times this size. Step back 3, no, doesn't do it. Anderson with the basketball, shot clock at 13.
They're not looking as confident on offense.
No, I think they're not moving the ball much right, either. Here's Wilkin, and that was a nice little fall away that falls.
Good shot, but no, first half, remember the ball movement was crisp, it was all over the place. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Even if they were flinging it, they were getting passes. Now they're down to just looking at each other and not moving.
Well, Central goes into the locker room at halftime and says, that's something we do not want to let happen. That's a big part that fuels this. Kostick out for Flynn. Shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Siljan, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, he got run into there by Johnson, flying for the rebound. And Johnson will take a seat now, and into the game will come Terrell.
Johnson, the second foul. Sorry, first foul. Oh, yep, second foul. First foul. They keep moving things around. I can't read a box score, apparently. First foul of the night.
You've had a long day, sir.
Fifth and a half. I've only called like a game and a half.
No, I just meant you travel and all that.
I traveled.
You traveled on Delta. I mean, that just automatically doesn't mean long day.
I did pick up my pivot foot. No, for me, traveling on Delta is great.
You've had good experiences.
Yeah. Andrew Arnold shot no good. I love Delta Airlines. You kidding me?
No, I know you do.
Delta gets me where I need to go.
And for the Final Four this year, it's a straight shot for you.
There you go. I'm not going, though.
Oh, you're not?
You mean the championship game in Atlanta?
Yeah.
It cost us like $17,000 to cover that title game.
Things I did not know for $100.
I mean, that's I'm not planning to go. Let's put it that way. Rogers shot no good. He'll go to the line. This extra, the men's title game in Atlanta, just is like, it will cost us a gazillion dollars to go cover that game.
Is that a lot?
It's more than I really have budget for.
Got it.
I watch it on the online. Is that a thing?
Well, I'm kind of curious what the coverage will be, actually.
Rogers foul shot on the way, and it is no good. Rattles out. 5-point ball game here. 5:24 to go.
Rogers literally had a look on his face like, really?
That did not go in?
He's staring at the basket like he's having a conversation and an argument with it.
Well, and I can see where Rogers might have a conversation about foul shots with himself. He's 7 of 13, 7 of 14 on the season. Second one is on the way, and that one goes in.
He did him. Yeah, he's frustrated with himself, too.
Full timeout. We're going to take a break. It's a 4-point ball game with 5:24 to go. Don't go anywhere. Get your friends to come watch this. This is a great Division III men's basketball game, and we'll be back with more from the D3Hoops.com Classic in a minute. Back out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh from the D3Hoops.com Classic. This was a 24-point game. Now it is just a 4-point game with 5:24 to go. College of St. Scholastica from Duluth, Minnesota, holding on to a 4-point lead against Central College out of Pella, Iowa. These two teams are ready to battle it out here for the final 5.5 minutes.
Biggest difference, St. Scholastica 11 of 18 in the first half from beyond the arc. They are 1 for 7 in this half.
Yeah, that is a significant difference, as one might say. Here's Anderson. Three-pointer, no good. Over the defender's shot, no good. Rebound, and the putback does not fall either for Wilkin, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it will remain Saints basketball. Saints just not getting those shots to fall, not even really getting the opportunity to take too many of them. They took a ton, obviously, when times were good in the first half. Wilkin for three, and that's good. Just left on the top of the circle, and a big shot when the Saints needed under 5, up 7.
Yeah, that's a big shot, especially off of a hard-worked possession.
Right, 3 chances in that possession, which they've not done nearly as well on this half as they did the first half.
Come up with 3 points. That's pretty solid. Oh,
Terrell.
tripped.
Oh, and they'll be coming back the other way with it. Going to the hole is Arnold, and he gets the basket and the foul.
I think Kosick is a little curious why a foul wasn't called. To be honest with you, there's no foul there.
And this thing at the
he got tripped up at the top of the key. It was either his feet or he got tangled with the other player, but it's not a foul. It's just happenstance. You got to understand that happens. It's just bad luck. But then Saints convert it on the other end very nicely.
Arnold, free throw, no good off the back iron, and Mock with the rebound. Mock, 10 points. Kostick, 11. Johnson, 11. Flynn with 19. Here's Rogers, hands off underneath for Mock with the bucket and the foul.
Jeez. He is a lunch pail kind of guy in the paint.
Yes, he is. Wilkin with the foul. That is number 3 for him.
I think he's leaving.
And, of course, it will be 2 shots the rest of the way after this attempt by Mock to finish the three-point play.
Terrell came out, Johnson back in.
So 7-point game.
Yep.
And it stays there. Wilkin with the rebound. Wilkin with a couple of key boards here and a three-pointer. Wilkin very quietly, 7 of 11 from the floor. With all the focus on Anderson and his numbers, Wilkin has done a great job here. Coming up on 4 minutes left in regulation. Bounce pass underneath. Trying to fight it back up and getting it in. Wilkin once again. Wilkin now with 19. Coming up big on back-to-back possessions on both ends of the floor.
And that was an unsettled situation that he just finally was able to get converted. Flynn again.
Wow, flying
and now he's
in.
hurt. Now he's hurt.
Yeah, we're going to stop the game for that. Flynn, you talked about how he plays the game with such reckless abandon, right?
Yeah.
And that is, that is something
That's the concern.
Right, that is the result of playing the game with reckless abandon. When you're down by 9, you want those buckets, and you want them bad, and you're, a guy who's a junior guard who's got the game on his shoulders, you think, and that's,
They're treating it like a cramp, which is a good sign. I think he may have just came down and tweaked it, and so they're just maybe just checking to make sure it's okay. But that's listen, you love the passion of a guy who will attack a rim and go after guys, but he tends to go in there looking for the contact.
Yeah.
And when you go in there looking for the contact, sometimes you get a shot and you don't land properly.
Remember the kid for Mount St. Mary, which is now like 15 years ago, Mike Hoyt?
Oh, yeah.
Early 2000s?
Yes.
That's how he played the game.
Yeah,
And
good
he
point.
played the game like a linebacker.
Yeah.
And he would charge in, and they played in this tiny little bandbox in Newburgh, New York, to the point where, you have the 6 feet or so beyond the baseline, and then the wrestling pads.
It's like high school.
Right,
One
exactly.
of those high school gyms you played at.
You have those pads on the wall. And I was taking some pictures of that game because we needed some Mike Hoyt photos because he was going to go over 2,000 points.
And he was kind of a good player.
Yeah. Well, he came in, and this is like in the early digital photography days. I'm sitting like basically right under the basket, and he's coming in. He's crashing with the basketball, shoots the layup, and then I have to duck. And there's this series of photos with the camera angle going lower and lower as he just kind of dives over me.
I kind of remember those shots now. You mentioned it.
Long forever ago. But that's how Flynn plays the game, and I'm really impressed by that. Here's a three-pointer on the way, and hitting it.
Speaking of impressive.
Is Craig Berger. I haven't called his name in a while, and it's his second 3 of the afternoon.
Suddenly a 12-point game. Just out of nowhere, St. Scholastica has just kind of woken up.
Yeah, this was a close game, and it's in danger of not being so, but another 3 for Sean Kostick, his 3rd of the night. And this is not over. A 9-point game coming up on 3 minutes.
Before that 3, it was a 13-3 run by the Saints.
Yeah, that's a legitimate run. This is when they needed, right? We talked
they
about
absolutely needed it.
How things had not been working out for them on the offensive end. Anderson, bounce pass, a little give and go. Cannot hold on to the basketball, and it will ski.
It was about a half a second late.
Yeah.
If the move to the basket is a half a second sooner by Wilkin, and thus Anderson can get it to him, that's in. But that half a second allowed the 3 defenders to close ranks, and that ended the play.
But it will remain Saints basketball inbounding underneath their own basket. 14 on the shot clock. Anderson looking to inbound. Gets it in up top for Wilkin. Carlson with the basketball. Nick Carlson, the sophomore out of Canyon, Minnesota. Anderson drives down, left-handed layup, around it in. 31 for Anderson. Lead back to 11.
Now 15-6 run. Dutch have got to find a way now to hit shots themselves, but get stops.
Yep, got to stem the tide. Flynn back in the game. Feeds Kostick and hits the 3.
And
does that count?
It's going to count, and there's going to be a foul away. It should count, and it should be a foul away from the basket. So it should be a 5-point opportunity here. It counts.
Yes, it counts. Big shot for Kostick. Give Flynn an assist. His 6th of the night. And then they'll have 2 foul shots here for Mock. And is that a 5 foul?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 5th foul for Fisher.
And absolutely blew up the screen that Mock's setting. I don't understand. Those are the kinds of fouls I don't grasp sometimes, is when a player sees a guy screen. I understand there's a guy open. for a shot, I get it. But there's absolutely no point of trying to run over a screener.
Yeah.
He's planted to having a cup of coffee. And so Mock's
this time
going to
of
get
night,
a
that's not a
chance
great idea.
for that rare 5-point play. It's two different guys, but they're going to combine possibly for a 5-point play here.
Yeah, so Mock is going to be at the foul line here. 2 for 4 on the night. Coming into the night, a 68% foul shooter.
Oh,
Averaging a double-double. Misses the first.
for the season, what'd you say he was?
68% before tonight. Second shot, that one's good. So it's a 7-point ball game, 88-81. Anderson brings it up the floor. He's got Berger, he's got Carlson, he's got Wilkin, and Anderson. Carlson with the ball in the corner, 2:20 to go in regulation. Cross-court pass, Wilkin, 3-ball up, no good. Sorry, Wilkin with the rebound.
Strong.
Off the miss from Siljan.
That ball hitting, glancing off the rim was enough for Mock to get out of position on the rebound and miss it.
Berger brings it back. Anderson now near side. Carlson, shot clock at 9.
It's an important possession.
Well, they're doing a good job of running clock, but Carlson turns it over. Up ahead, Kostick off the feed from Flynn, and Kostick's going to go back to the line.
Because if they get a basket there, especially maybe a 3, they extend the lead with 2 minutes left. That Central is now in trouble. Whereas
6 turnover on the night for Carlson.
Central now at least is still, we're 7 here shooting 2.
Yeah, right.
Because it's a double bonus. So
one thing they did, though, you mentioned the rim. They did manage to take about 45 seconds of the game, and that's big at this point. Kostick's first shot rolls over the top and goes in. 6 of 6 from the line tonight. 18 points for Kostick.
He's a good free throw shooter, especially in these more interesting sight lines.
Second shot, that one's good as well.
5-point game. So again,
Yep.
St. Scholastica had a chance there to really put Central on the ropes, and in turn, Central's now cut it to within 5.
Buck 45 to go. St. Scholastica has to run clock, but they also need to score. They're not out of this yet. Anderson picks it up. Shot clock at 15. Berger back to Anderson. Carlson out on the far wing.
Central playing a little more aggressive.
Inside for Wilkin. Wilkin has the ball deflected, gets it back. Shot clock at 6. Now has it taken away. Kostick with the steal.
I'm not sure why Wilkin was looking at the official, thought there was a foul there. It looked pretty clean.
I'm not sure why Wilkin was dribbling the ball. Let's be honest.
Fair.
Not really what you want him to do in that situation.
No.
Flynn, no good.
Flynn's got to run the offense. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're looking at Kostick a little frustrated at that fact. Flynn's driving the lane there. No, set the offense, run the offense, get your points.
Got time. It will get Mock to the line. 3 of 6 on the evening.
Listen, Flynn's a good player, but there's no reason to press there. There's no reason to put up whatever you can get.
He's trying to take the game on his shoulders, like we were saying, right? First shot good for Mock.
You've got Mock, you got Rogers, you got Kostick.
Well, and your game is pretty well on the perimeter, too. You got lots of – Kostick is hot right now.
Right.
Mock is all right.
He's got a lot of control on the inside right now.
You got 3 guys who are playing really well on offense here in the second half, all on the floor right now. Second shot for Mock. This one is no good. Wilkin with the board. Wilkin with the board is his 11th of the night.
He's still going. Oh. That's a sandwich. That might be intentional. I thought I just saw an intentional call. Let me. No, he's just indicating it was a hit across the arm. Sometimes the intentional call
is a little lower.
It's a little closer. The signals are too close in common.
So Wilkin with the ball in the open floor. Got himself to the foul line for the first time tonight. 19 points, 11 boards for this young man, and he misses the first. Wilkin, as we mentioned earlier, a 6'6 junior forward out of Annandale, Minnesota. It's a 4-point game with 1:07 to go here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. College of St. Scholastica leading Central College, and this second one is good and a timeout.
This was a 24-point game, though. That's the key.
Yeah. 24-point ball game now, 5.
It's only a 30-second break, so we'll keep it here. But, Saints I wouldn't say we're in control of the 24-point lead, but because you're going into halftime, you never know what's going to change.
Right.
But they absolutely had Central on their back heels. Central wasn't sure what they were going to do. They were giving up a lot of shots. Saints were hitting everything, obviously. They have cooled off significantly. But in turn, Central was struggling on offense.
Yeah.
They were shooting decent, but they were giving up a lot of points.
Right. Well, both teams here in the second half are 12 of 27 from the floor. But the big difference is that Central won 7 of 15 from beyond the arc compared to 3 of 11 for St. Scholastica, and they're getting to the line. They're not making all their shots. Kostik's making all his shots, and the others are not.
Agreed.
But Central's 12 of 17 from the foul line in the second half, and St. Scholastica just 2 for 5.
Anderson's been held to 6 points in this half.
After, of course, scoring 25 in half number 1. 5-point ball game under a minute. Kostik with the basketball for Flynn. Flynn pushing his way in. Kicks it back outside. Kostik from 25. Nope. Off the left. Ball goes out of bounds off of the shot, and it's St. Scholastica basketball. But, I would rather, I would suspect rather have Kostik taking that shot than Flynn taking the shot he was trying to
No, I agree.
think about.
I just thought Kostik found himself about 4 feet deeper than he wanted to be.
Yeah, and had enough time to do something with it. The shot clock was running down. More importantly, the game clock running down.
I think it was good defense. Forced him out there.
Yeah.
Versus where he wanted to be. I think while it may not get a lot of credit, certainly good defense. By the way, I think one of our officials is a little bit gimpy as well. He's been having trouble getting up and down the court. I feel bad. I feel bad for the man.
Andrew Arnold is the guy who draws the foul out there in the open floor. 0 of 1 from the line on the night. And now 0 of 2 misses the front end of a 1-and-1. So a big break for Central, still down 5, 45 ticks.
No rush.
Kostik for 3.
Left it way
Front
short.
rim. Yep.
No
Rebounded
rush.
by Wilkin. Up ahead.
Good D.
Berger underneath. Arnold. Reverse layup. Good.
Well, it was good D.
Well, I mean, it was good D. Arnold made a heck of a shot, a heck of a finish under there.
But Kostik doesn't need to rush that.
No, I think you're right. But
43 seconds left, down by 5. Yes, you need 2 shots. I get that. But that shot wasn't there. Give it a couple passes, see what you get, and then you're in trouble. You didn't need to rush that. Nice. Arnold hits the free throw.
Finishes the 3-point play, and it is a 8-point lead with 30 seconds to go.
Now you need to rush it.
Now you do.
Now you absolutely have to. But that's because you missed the chance the previous time.
Flynn off a screen, no good.
Oh, now
Rogers with the rebound.
Football over here.
Kostik, Flynn, Kostik, 25-foot, no, partially blocked by Wilkin. Wilkin gets the outlet pass, and then up ahead, Arnold finishes with the layup, and that'll do it here with 9.5 seconds to go. The lead is back to 10 points. I'm really impressed, actually, Dave, as Flynn leaves one off the front end. I'm impressed by St. Scholastica. It's a team that struggled, in its non-conference play against some real quality opposition. Saw a 24-point lead whittled all the way down to 4, down to 3. Mm-hmm. And, you see teams roll over. Mm-hmm. You see inexperienced teams or teams that don't win a lot, you see them roll over. They did not do that. They came back. They finished strong. Great finish for Wilkin. Couple of key buckets for Arnold in the final minute of the game. And a really good finish for St. Scholastica.
They actually shot better in the closing minutes. They were down to 57% for the game, finished at 59. They actually hit a couple of key shots down the end. And it was almost deja vu to the first half.
Yeah.
We also saw St. Scholastica coming down, hitting shots, in the Dutch now out of sorts on the offensive end. The game ended in the last couple of minutes how that first half played out.
Absolutely. Let's get a look at the final stats here as we will get you to the rest of your evening or morning, wherever you happen to be. First, for Central, as they take the loss, they fall to 4-6, led by Adam Flynn with 19 points on 7 for 21 shooting, 2 for 9 from beyond the arc, 3 for 5 from the foul line, 6 assists in 36 minutes. Sean Kostik off the bench with 19 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 4 for 9 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 7 for 7 from the foul line. Caden Mock with 14, 5 of 14 shooting, also with a team high 11 rebounds. And then it was Rogers with 8, Terrell with 9, McColgan with 4, and Weber and 4 with no points for the total of 84 points. 29 of 70 from the floor, 41%, 11 of 31 from beyond the arc, 36%, 15 of 22 from the foul line, 68%. 31 rebounds compared to 39 for St. Scholastica, and Central turned over the ball just 11 times compared to 17 for the Saints. Now the Saints improved to 4-7, and they were led by Colin Anderson with 31 points, 12 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, 25 of those 31 in the first half, as Dave mentioned. Wilkin with 20 points on 8 of 12 shooting, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. Also a game-high 13 rebounds, 3 assists as well in his 30 minutes of action. And then you go to Swanchera with 9, Carlson with 8 on 4 of 12 shooting, Arnold with 7, 5 of them in like the last 30 seconds of the game. It was Berger with 6, Fisher with 5, Hendrickson and Goggle-Eye with 3 apiece, Siljan with 2 for the total of 94 points, 37 to 63 from the floor, 59%, 14 to 29 from beyond the arc. They cooled off just 48% from three-point range after they came in at 29% for the season, 6 of 10 from the foul line. You know, Dave, we mentioned, of course, the shooting numbers obviously cool off quite a bit. 52 points off the bench tonight for St. Scholastica, 40 points in the paint, 16 points on fast breaks. You know, just a 15 points off of the turnovers. Central actually made more, of course, because off turnovers because St. Scholastica turned the ball over a few more times. But really, you know, a lot of balance that kind of comes back to the fact that Scholastica had that big run in the first half, and they never quite gave up that lead, although Central made them work for it.
Well, it's interesting because in the opening 7 minutes of this game, we had 5 lead changes and 3 ties. The game looked like it was going to be back and forth, and then St. Scholastica absolutely exploded. Mm-hmm. They ended up leading this game for nearly 35 minutes. You know, and Central only led for 3.5. That lead that they got in that first half was enough to cushion whatever Central was going to bring at them in the second half and whatever cooling off that they were going to do. But it also allowed them to find themselves in the second half because that lead got down to 2. And then they all of a sudden kind of exploded out of the gates again, figured out what they needed to do. I agree with you. I'm impressed with Central to cut back and never roll over in this game. Yeah. I'm also impressed in St. Scholastica for not going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, they're coming back, calming themselves down and pulling it out.
Well, St. Scholastica will come back on Sunday. They will face Ramapo. Central has to come back tomorrow night and face New Jersey City. So that game is another 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Central tip-off. That will be Central's second game here at the tournament compared to New Jersey City's first. And New Jersey City, kind of surprisingly this season, struggling. They're 4-6. Did not expect that out of them. So
their lead guy's, 26 years old, maybe.
Is Sam Toney tired out? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I'm saying
is
maybe
he ready to retire.
Well, maybe he's peaked, and the other guys around him haven't figured out how they can contribute yet.
Well, we'll definitely see how that game goes tomorrow night. It'll be the fourth of 4 games we have here. Quickly just recapping what we'll have for you tomorrow starting in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, with a 10th ranked DeSales against number 6 Amherst women's basketball action, followed by another women's basketball game between another two top 10 teams.
Oh, by the way.
Number 9 George Fox and second ranked Scranton.
You should be here for the first 2 games.
Yes, those will be fantastic displays of women's basketball. Then we follow it up with men's basketball, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Ramapo against Muskingum, and we finish it off with New Jersey City against Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Not a bad first day of the tournament. Can we always start with just 2 games?
That'd be lovely, but I think we'd be here. Oh, start? Okay, no, we could start with 2. I like that idea.
I don't mind the 2-4-6-4 thing we got going. It's not
bad.
Worst.
Builds our way into the 6, and then lets us feel like we had a short day the final day.
That's right. In fact, we'll be done by...
One year we had 1 game to finish. I didn't like that.
I didn't either, but that was, especially when it was the third. It was the third Mary Hardin Baylor game.
Oh,
and the
right.
Third St.
That's
Vincent
what it was.
Game,
right. I think it was. Yeah.
So for my broadcast partner Dave McHugh, and for all the people at D3Hoops.com are not here yet, Gordon Mann, Arthur.
What are you doing?
We'll see them.
Scheduling.
We'll see them tomorrow night, but we'll see you back here tomorrow. The final score here from Game 2 of the D3Hoops.com Classic: College of St. Scholastica 94, Central College 84. Good night, everybody.